Hello and good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand and always well in your world. Hello there everybody. Today's vid, everybody, we are going to do a little experimentation. We're going to see how close the Zoom G6 multi-effects unit sounds to my analog pedals, if you will. I actually did this comparison when I had the Zoom G5N. And the G5N got really close, but I think this one sounds better. The G6 definitely sounds better, albeit being in a plastic housing. Again, it hasn't broken yet though. So, and I've used it quite a lot actually. I've actually done a little bit of a gig with it, and it's really good fun. And it sounds amazing. These things sound amazing. But like I say, I did it with the G5, and it sounded really close. So I've been wondering since, like, well, how close does the G6 get to my, my individual pedals? So today, people, tube, we're going to find that one out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 different sounds, basically. We're going to do the Golden Plexi. So that's my kind of dirty, clean, John Frusciante kind of tone. So we're going to compare that to the dirty, clean I've got set up in here, which is like a Marshall Plexi clone I've got set up in the Zoom. We're going to then go for a distortion, which is going to be the Golden Plexi and the Marshall Governor together. And then we're also going to go for a DS2 kind of tone, because the DS2 is like a pedal onto its own. There is no other pedal that sounds like a DS2. So for that portion, we're going to use the Golden Plexi and the Turbo Distortion. So and all these are kind of I've got more programmed into Daveland, which is there. So So what you're going to hear first is what you're going to hear first is the... should I do it? I don't know which way around to do this, PivoTube. So I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, you'll hear the Zoom first, and then you'll hear the pedals. So it'll be the Zoom doing the dirty, clean tone, and then you'll hear the Golden Plexi doing the dirty, clean tone. Then you'll hear the Zoom doing distortion. Then you'll hear the Marshall Governor and the Golden Plexi doing distortion. And then you'll hear the Zoom's kind of DS2 kind of sound that I've got. And then you'll hear the Golden Plexi and the DS2. So I'm not going to use wah, I'm not going to use fuzz, I'm not going to use delay or anything like that. I'm actually going to turn the reverb off. Well, actually, no, I'm going to turn the reverb to 2 on the amp, just so there's a little bit of reverb. So reverb's at 9 o'clock on the amp. Mic isn't going to move. We're going through the same head. Same settings on the head as well, people of the tube, just to let you know. We're going for the Marshall MG today, with the gain at 1, bass at 0, mids at 7, no treble, no contour, and volume all the way up on 10. Master volume is just below 9 o'clock, just below 9 o'clock. And I've got reverb set at 9 o'clock as well. But both these pedal boards were going straight into the amp. We're mic'd bottom right speaker with the SM57. And basically, yeah, that's it. So Zoom, dirty clean, pedalboard, dirty clean. I'm eating my own hair. Zoom, distortion, pedalboard, distortion, and then Zoom, DS2, and then real DS2. So I'm very curious about this, actually. The intro jam today was performed by this glorious pedal here, people of the tube. So it sounds great. And that was my ambient setting, that one was. And it was just really lovely, especially combined with that kind of really cool electro drum beat from the RC10. Anyway, enough talk. I'm going to use the same guitar as well. I'm going to use Mr. White for all sound examples. So, like I say, first thing you're going to hear, dirty clean from the Zoom. And then we'll go on from there. So, let's get to it, shall we? Yes. Okay, tube. There you go. That's the 6 sound examples. Like I say, you heard the Zoom first, and then you heard the pedal board. So, let me know in the comment section below which one you preferred and why. And did you like certain sounds from a pedal board more than you did the Zoom? Did you like more sounds from a Zoom than you did? But you know what I mean? Like, you know, say you like the clean of a golden plexi, but you like the distortion of the Zoom, and so on and so forth. I'm still yet to find anything that does a DS2 thing. It kind of gets close, but it's still not the DS2. This is such a unique pedal. It really is. It's massively unique, and it's really, really cool, and I love it. The distortion too on this one, I'm using the Metal World distortion on the Zoom, comes close, but it's not quite there. I don't really know. Kind of like it's missing that kind of like mid sound. You know, this has got on that turbo mode. When you kick a DS2 over to that turbo mode, no other pedal has what that has. It just is what it is. It's amazing. And I love that. And there's not many pedals like that. And again, no one's making a clone of the DS2. You don't really need to be honest with you. It's a very affordable pedal. But yeah, I adore the DS2. It's literally... I've had that... Crikey, I don't know how long I've had that for. And I've used it forever. I've used the DS2 forever. You know, it's John Frusciante's fault, and I thank him massively for it. So yeah, people tube. Let me know in the comments section below which one you preferred and why. Did you prefer the Zoom? Or did you prefer the pedal board? Or did you prefer, say, the distortion from the Zoom, the DS2 of this pedal board, and the distortion from that? Whatever. Let me know in the comments section below. And also, why? Why did you like this over this, or that over this, or that over this, or this over that, or whatever? You know, let me know in the comment section below. To me, there's not a great deal in it. I will say that. The Zoom holds its own very easily next to all these pedals. I've actually been carting the Zoom G6 around as this is my backup, basically. This has been my main pedal board for decades, and obviously certain things have changed in and out. Like, you know, the Golden Plexi changed out in about I don't know when, and also the Mel 9. But like the Zoom G6, the Line 6 delay model, the Marshall Governor, the Vox Wah, Electromagnetic Double Muff, and Boss DS2 have been part of my setup for ages. But and basically what I'm doing is I'm carrying this around as a backup. So if any of this fails, say the power supply fails, or something fails that I don't have a replacement for, what I do is I'm just going to go to this because it's a quick, easy fix. You just kind of like get this one out of the way, put this one down, and away you go again. It's nice and quick and easy. And again, it's smaller as well. So if I ever do gigs where I get to the venue and it's absolutely tiny, which is very, very possible where I gig, and I can't necessarily fit all this in because there's just not enough space, this will come out then as well. So, and I'm not missing any effects really. I mean, the only effect I am missing in here is the Mel 9. Because I've got 2 distortions programmed. So I have a Marshall Governor, which is this one here. I've got a DS2 kind of ish, not really, but close here. I have a delay, which is there, and it's like a short delay. I've basically on my Line 6 delay model, I've got 3 delays, but basically I've got like a lead delay here, which is the delay I use most often, and I've got a Univibe on here as well. So I've got 2 distortions and a Univibe, a delay, and I've also got a wah-wah pedal as well. The only thing I would be missing is the Mel 9, which I would miss, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. You know what I mean? I could easily get by without it. But sound-wise, I'm impressed. In all fairness, as soon as I dialed this G6 in, when I got it, and got it sounding the way I wanted to say, I was massively impressed then. And it is a love-hate love relationship I have with this thing. It's the same as the G5N. But I would definitely recommend the G6 over the G5N any day of the week. This thing sounds incredible. And once you kind of get to terms with how to program it with a touchscreen, it's so easy to dial in sound. It's so easy. It takes literally minutes and away you go. I really recommend this pedal. It really is cool. The only problem, the only drawback is still the housing. Will it break? I don't know. Will the expression pedal break? I don't know. We're definitely going to find out in the coming years, people of the tube, because I'm going to use this thing, and I am actually really tempted to integrate this into my pedal board because I do love the way this thing sounds. I really do. but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as my backup and occasional main board, depending if I feel like I want to use this instead of this slot. You know, it just depends. This would actually come in really handy for support slot gigs, to be honest with you, where I don't want to be carting a big heavy pedal board on and off the stage. I can just literally whack this on stage and jobs are good. And it sounds incredible. It does sound different to the pedals, I've got to say. Whether it sounds better or not is subjective, because I still love both sounds. I couldn't honestly pick between the two. The only one I could pick between is the DS2 and the DS2 emulation I've got here. I definitely prefer the DS2 there. This one's good, but it's not the DS2, and I'm kind of missing that fuzzy, kind of flubby low end thing, and also that mid-range honk that the DS2 has, and no other pedal does. This is the closest I've actually come, people, to finding a DS2 clone, if you will. It's the Metal World Distortion on the G6. And it was the same on the G5N, actually, for that matter. Anyway, like I say, let me know which one you prefer and why. These things, I do recommend them. I really do recommend them. Like I say, there is a drawback, the plastic. I don't know whether it will last. I certainly hope so, definitely. So I've got to tell you something else, people with Tube, as well, is around the same price point of this, there's a couple of multi-effects units, and for a little bit more, you could get the Line 6 HX. So if you could stretch a bit more, I would recommend the Line 6 HX. That thing is a pedalboard killer, and it sounds amazing. But if you can't quite stretch to the HX, this is the way to go, definitely. Also, you got the added bonus of having an expression pedal in this, whereas you don't with the HX. You have to buy it separately. But the HX, which you can see over there on Queenie's pedal board, which is now bigger than mine, people of the Tube, she's got more pedals than me, and it's heavier. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that. I do apologise. I had to do a bit of a cut there. I don't really like doing cuts, to be honest with you, but needs must when interruptions are abound. Anyway, that's not even a word, Dave. Anyway, yeah, so like I say, I definitely recommend the G6. I definitely recommend stuff like the HX. Like I say, if you can stretch a bit further, the HX is the way to go. But this is a great option as well. It's a little bit cheaper. Plus, you know, you've got the expression pedal. There are pluses and minuses to each one. Pros and cons of the Zoom are the pros, expression pedal. The touchscreen makes it very easy to mess around with. Brilliant tuner on this thing. The tuner is absolutely amazing. You've got great loads of effects. You know, you've got the 4 foot switches at the bottom, and it feels good. Cons of this pedal are the plastic expression pedal. The fact you can only have 4 foot switches here. There's definitely room for more. I don't know why they didn't kind of like capitalize on space and actually kind of compete with stuff like the HX and have another row of foot switches. I mean, I'm guessing that may kind of would have upped the price, and also the processing kind of power this thing would have needed. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not into it. I don't understand any of that. But I'm guessing that's maybe what was going on there. But that is kind of like a con of that one. Is you've only got 4. The plastic, I say the plastic expression pedal, which does feel a bit flimsy when your foot's on it. Not quite as flimsy as the WH10 WAR, but it's not far off. But it does feel strong. HX pros and cons. HX Pro is that it's just amazing. Literally, it's ridiculous. You don't run out of processing power as well, which is something you do run out of with the Zoom. It's not really a problem. You can set up multiple boards, but the HX, you never run into that kind of issue. Also, the HX is made out of metal. You know, it's very, very sturdy. It's very, very strong. And like I say, I gigged that thing for 3 years once, and it just held its own. I gigged with that and the locks. I don't know if I've already mentioned that. That was my pedal board for ages. The con of the HX though is the tuner is terrible, and also certain updates. I've never updated my HX because it sounds great. I don't feel the need to upgrade it. But I've spoken to quite a few people who have updated their HX and it's broken it. Basically, it's crashed the pedal. So that's a bit of a nightmarish thing, and because it's Line 6 don't give out kind of like schematics for things to be fixed. You just have to buy a new one. I don't know if Zoom do. I don't think this is repairable by anyone. I think you just have to buy a new one. So that's kind of the same for both. But there are pros and cons. Again, another a con with the HX is there's no expression pedal. You have to buy an external, another one to go with it, whereas this one has one built in. So it's pros and cons each way. But what I would recommend is, like I say, if you can stretch to it, Line 6 HX. If you can't quite get there, the Zoom G6. You really can't go wrong with either. They're both absolutely stunning. They are absolutely stunning multi-effects units. They really are. This one sounds amazing. That one sounds amazing. You know, it's just ridiculous. I've always loved Zoom. I've always had a Zoom pedal on my board, whether it was a 606 or the G2.1U, now onto the G6. You know, it's just amazing. I would definitely gig with this. You know, I mean, if like all this died and I had to use this, I wouldn't be crying. I'd be like, let's go. You know, because I'm not missing anything, and the effects in it sound great. It's just amazingly. Once you get your head around it, it's easy to program. You don't need like a degree from NASA, which is what you seem to do with some multi-effects units, where you're like, what the hell? It's like, press this, and then go into that sub-menu, and then to press this, and then I don't want to have to do a PhD in, like, you know, computer science to be able to program a multi-effects unit, which is where some of these pedals are going, and I don't like it. This one was easy. The HX was easy. I had this one done in a day. I had the HX done in a day, and I've never changed them since. And that's the way I like it. Anyway, enough whiffle waffle. People of the tube, let me know which one you preferred. If it was individual effects, let me know. If it was actually just the Zoom over the pedalboard or the pedalboard over Zoom, let me know. Comment section below. Let me know, and why as well. I'd always like to know the whys. But yeah, amazing unit. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed this vid, people tube. I will see you again very soon for another one. Hope you enjoyed this. And oh yeah, and if you do like the videos I do on the channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Too many P's, man. Anyway, there's Rick Mail popping out there. Why, have my trousers fallen down? No, they're up. I can see they're up. Anyway, moving along. I'm sure some people will get that. But yeah, if you do like the videos I do, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. It really helps out. It's basically keeping this channel alive right now, because YouTube certainly ain't. So anybody who is a patron at Patreon, thank you so much indeed. Your support means the absolute world to me. I literally, I couldn't ask for anything better. I really can't. It's just mind blowing. I'm stumbling over my words because I can't actually. There aren't words to actually express how grateful I am. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. Link for that, by the way, is in the description box below, as well as links to my Bandcamp and links to my merch store as well. It's just great, good gravy stuff. Anyway, yeah, other than that, PeelTube, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, highly recommend the G6. If you're in the market for like a multi-effects unit, it's not massively affordable. This thing isn't like cheap. But it's not massively expensive either. You know, it's kind of like, I would say it's kind of like a mid-price pedal, and you definitely get your money's worth out of it, even with the plastic housing. You know, the way this thing sounds, as long as you respect it and look after it, it'll definitely look after you. Like I say, but if you can always stretch a bit further, like, yeah, money-wise, Line 6 HX. But either way, job's a good one. Maybe I should do a shootout one day between the HX and the Zoom. People of the tube, would you like to see that? Let me know about that in the comment section below as well. Other than that, goodbye now. Thank you for watching. See you again. Have a great day, morning, afternoon, and good evening. Goodbye now.